Here on the way to go meet the rest of the UK chapter of the NFAC. So yeah, we're out here just getting a little footage for MajorTv and
let's talk. I said there's power in these words, so let's talk. Let's talk. I said there's power in these words, so let's talk. Yeah. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. If I don't talk to you, the treasure in this message, so I gotta drop a couple jewels. Did it for my people, need some guidance, and they seek it true. Tired of propaganda, and they sick of being lied to. There's power in these words, so let's talk. Yeah, so let's talk. I said there's power in these words, so let's talk. Yeah, so let's talk. I said there's power in these words, so let's talk. Yeah, so let's talk. I said there's power in these words, so let's talk. So let's talk. So let's talk. I said there's power in these words, so let's talk. Yeah, so let's talk. I said there's power in these words, so let's talk. Yeah, so let's talk. Sharing knowledge like college, corruption and all the violence. We talk about all our problems, we turn our words into power. When all our heroes is dying, the media making them monster. Black leaders stripper, they honor like history, they rewrite it. There's power in these words, so let's talk. Yeah, so let's talk. I said there's power in these words, so let's talk. Yeah, so let's talk. I said there's power in these words, so let's talk. Yeah, so let's talk. I said there's power in these words, so let's talk. Let's talk. I said there's power in these words, so let's talk.
Hey, my people, what's going on? This is MajorTv. Let's talk. I'm bringing my host, Achoti Tamar. We definitely have a special exclusive interview with King Kendrick Wilson, the brother who had exposed the ugly truth about what had happened with the Breonna Taylor investigation and case. I asked Achoti Tamar, if you don't know, she the one who ran up on Roland Martin when King Kendrick was on the phone with his brother trying to get Roland to talk to him. And I want to thank her first for the story and what have you. I want to welcome on the show. How you doing, sweetheart?
Shalom, family. I am feeling good, like a Hebrew should. And I thank you for an opportunity to be online with King Kendrick. It's a blessing. I feel honored this afternoon, my people.
Yeah. I see 11 people watching. I see nobody in the chat. Y'all not rocking with me today. What's going on? I know the weekend. I know y'all enjoying yourself and doing the family thing and what have you. But at least say hi. Let me know what's going on with you out here. This is MajorTv. We got a nice interview, a great interview with his brother coming up. There's so much we need to know about. We can't let what happened to Breonna Taylor just be swept on the rug. So this brother came on to share his story, and we gonna hear him out. You know what I'm saying? Salute. I see you, Sean Kennedy. Salute, fam. We in here. That's what's up. You know, I see 12 in the I see 12 viewing, but I only see one person chatting and hollering at brother. Sean Kennedy, I appreciate you, man. Shalom for coming through. We in here. Cool. And let me just quickly just give a brief story about this brother. If y'all don't know about him, he played a major part with bringing out the whole uncut truth about what happened with Breonna Taylor. You know what I'm saying? Please come in. Thank you. And I want him to give his real talking story about what happened. Right? We know about the whole situation with Daniel Cameron. We know about what they charged officer with. How's officer basically got a slap on the wrist is not really nothing that we can really like say that suffice what happened to Queen Breonna. We know about the $712 million. We know about a lot of things about the case, you know. And I don't want to go in detail because this brother firsthand was on the scene. He can tell us everything we need to know. I just want to let y'all know this is the person who really don't get the credit, even though you probably heard about him and so forth from him. But bring him on the show, this King Kendrick Wilson, and let him explain himself about what's going on. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. I want to having me on. Appreciate that.
For sure, for sure. Just get straight to it, man. First and foremost, we want to thank you for coming on, me and Cody. We appreciate you wanting to still step out and faith, consider all that you told me you've been going through to want to talk about this, man. And I'm a small platform, but I'm starting to get attention. And it doesn't matter, man. They come down to justice. I'm all for that. And what happened to Queen Breonna was very unfortunate. You know what I'm saying? What's happening with blacks across the country getting killed. And I just want you just to give your take. Let people know from your honest perspective about the case and how you're feeling, because a lot you told me. I just want you to just lay it out. Me and Nicole gonna ask you questions. Nicole, I know she has some questions for you, and just share with everybody, man.
First, let me say this, man. You all platform. I just want you to know all platforms matter, because believe it or not, it's the small platforms that's telling the truth. You look at CNN, MSNBC, all those news channels that are considered the biggest platforms in the world when it comes to news. None of them people are reporting the truth. So salute to you and all the small platforms out there on YouTube, because you guys are the ones that's doing the real research. Y'all putting out the real facts, the real information that needs to be put out for the people. So don't let that title, being a small platform, discourage you. Keep going the route that you're going, because at the end of the day, you guys are taking the opportunity to actually uncover the truth. And people like myself appreciate that.
Cool. Well, why don't you explain to people how you first got involved with the Breonna Taylor investigation and whatnot and murder?
Well, believe it or not, I've been fighting against Brett in 2016. I've had several cases that have in Brett Hankson where he had on me times. I had been to court. I had beat him on 3 separate trials here in Kentucky, Louisville, Kentucky, where I live at. I beat him 3 different courtrooms. So I had been trying to warn him that, he was a dirty cop, in the city. I'm protected when it comes to football.
I'm sorry, Kendrick, you're skipping like crazy. I'm hearing you, but you're skipping.
Let me try to go up. Let me try to my face. Hold on. Let's see. Tell me if this is better. Is that better?
Yeah.
Is that better for you?
Yeah, we can hear you, brother. We can hear you.
All right. Yeah, man. I basically, make a long story short, I've been fighting against Brett Hankson since 2016. He had planted drugs on me multiple times. I beat him in court 3 different occasions. I beat him, and I'm pretty connected here in Louisville, Kentucky. And with me being connected, I told the people that I could tell, but nothing got done about it. He stayed on the force. He never was punished for what he did to me. And as I was fighting another case that I had with him, because I had, like I said, multiple cases. He had killed Breonna Taylor. As one of my cases was still getting ready to go to, my case was preparing to go to grand jury trial. So when he killed Breonna Taylor, of course, my case became a real big deal, because they knew the world was going to start looking into this dirty laundry, which was my case. And so on that note, Sam Aguiar, who is Breonna Taylor's attorney, the guy that a lot of people don't even really know about Sam Aguiar, know about Benjamin Crump. But Sam Aguiar was actually the lead lawyer. So with that situation going down, as far as, me having this case against Sam Aguiar, that I was doing such a good job, brought me in. He brought me in to work the case and to help me out, because I had a lot of dirt.
How you and his involvement? Why he's so involved? Why he's keep messing with you? What's the backstory behind it? I heard the backstory behind it. I don't want to really repeat it, but I heard the backstory though.
Well, make a long story short, to be a party boy, I used to be out in the clubs doing my things, hanging out in the clubs and such and such. And I had a girlfriend, and with the situation, him being a cop, he's not gonna approach me and try to fight me or anything like that. So what he did is he got back with me. He got back at me with his badge. He started harassing me because of the situation that I had with his girlfriend, a couple other girls. We had mutual girls in common. And basically, make a long story short, he was jealous. He was jealous because I was doing my thing. And, you know, doing the things that you do when you're out there in the club life, you party, you hook up with
Was
people.
it a white girl?
Yeah, it was a white girl. It was a white girl.
All right. Cool. Do you want to ask him a question or two? Cool. Do you want to ask a question?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I have my mic on mute. Yeah. In retrospect, do you feel like Aguilar was trying to keep you close in order to keep you from letting the public know what was really going on?
Yeah, when I sit back and I think about things, I look at it like this. Sam Aguilar was, I feel like he was working for the police department. I feel like he was more Brett Hankison's attorney than Sam Aguilar's attorney. And I feel like what he did is he sabotaged, you know, my case, and then also, you know, used me to help sabotage the Breonna Taylor case, because he gathered everything that he can gather from me and then went and traded it, you know, for $12 million pretty much with the permission of Breonna Taylor's mother. They went and traded, you know, all the evidence and all the stuff that I came up with for that case to prove that she was murdered. They traded $12 million before it even went to the criminal case.
What did we not know? What did we not know about the investigation in reference to from what I know, you exposed the video of how Brett Hankinson was walking on through investigation. What I understood from reading, that Louisville Police Department have a protocol that once an officer is involved in the shooting, they cannot walk through the crime scene, right? And I think, all right, talk about that.
Well, Brett Hankinson, Brett Hankinson, he went into the apartment, Breonna's apartment. He was moving cases from the apartment. And there's clear evidence, video proof of that. Sam Aguilar knows that. I know that. The things that you guys don't know is they said there was an exit wound when the officer got shot. There was no exit wound. The bullet that the officer alleged got shot by Kenneth Walker, which was supposedly Breonna Taylor's boyfriend, that bullet was still in that officer's leg. They had a private doctor come in and remove that bullet from that officer's leg. That bullet was still in the leg. A lot of people don't know that. If you look at the original EMS report, which I have it, it states that there was no exit wound, meaning that the bullet was still in the leg, you know, meaning that there was just one entry wound, no exit wound. So the bullet was in the leg, but they removed the bullet because, you know, if the bullet would have stayed in there, of course, they would have found out that it was one of the officers that shot that cop, which was Brett Hankinson. From the evidence stuff that I got, it was Hankinson that allegedly shot Officer John Manley. But at the end of the day, there's so much stuff. I got video proof that there was no exit wound. There's a lot of stuff you guys don't know. But the main thing is that the one thing that people really don't know is that Kenneth Walker is no hero. Kenneth Walker was in on this situation, which is Breonna Taylor's boyfriend. A lot of people don't want to accept that, but you know, people like Tamika D. Mallory and Until Freedom, they go around making it like this guy was a hero. Well, he was the complete opposite. He was a guy that was out here. He was involved with illegal activity. He was plotting on robbery, all types of stuff. And this guy is more responsible for Breonna Taylor getting killed than the ex-boyfriend that they tried to blame that wasn't even there. They tried to blame a guy that wasn't even on. He had nothing to do with that. And they try everything they try to say about the ex-boyfriend, about phone records and all this stuff, actually exists with Kenneth Walker's phone records. There's proof of illegal activity on his phone records. And, you know, they had that. We had all of it. We had a copy of all that. But he worked out some type of deal where he switched his story to where they let him got free.
But the initial investigation, was they going to the right house or the wrong house? Because what I learned, what was said that they was supposed to go to one address and they wanted to go to the wrong address. Just because he was doing something wrong, don't necessarily mean they had anything to do with her getting shot. So I kind of give you a little pushback about that, because this is not real that police running the wrong house. They did out here in Atlanta. some years ago. They killed an old lady, ran the house and killed her, and several other homes. So I think that's irrelevant what he was doing. I think
No,
what's important is
I think you misunderstand me. I said Kenneth Walker has more blame involved. He has more blame than the actual ex-boyfriend that they was trying to blame it on. You must understand that Kenneth Walker, a lot of people don't, Kenneth Walker's cell phone was in Breonna Taylor's name. So when they was watching that cell phone, they thought that they was watching the ex-boyfriend. They thought that they were tracking the ex-boyfriend, but really they was tracking Walker. His phone, Kenneth Walker's phone, was in Breonna Taylor's name. So when they was watching that phone, because they seen Breonna Taylor with the ex-boyfriend on camera, and they had been watching the situation she had with the ex, they thought that the phone transaction that Kenneth Walker was making was the ex-boyfriend, but really it was Kenneth Walker, her current boyfriend. Because
I'm sorry, my question is I can hear you.
His phone was in Breonna Taylor's name.
My question is though, it was said that they went to the wrong house. Was Breonna Taylor boyfriend the intended target that they wanted to go arrest?
They didn't go to the wrong house. You must understand, the whole thing was set up as a robbery. It was a robbery. They went to the right house. They knew where Breonna lived at, and they knew she had the money there. So they went there to rob her. That's what they went to do.
The police?
Yeah. That's what they do. Like, if you do your homework on that group of police, those officers in particular, Brett and Cole Gibson, I know him personally because just 7 months before they hit Breonna Taylor's house, they hit my house. 7 months before with the illegal search warrant. I still ain't been to court to this day for it. Never gave me a true copy of my search warrant or anything. So I know how they work. What they do is they come to your house illegally and they rob you. And then they hand you some fake paperwork and make it like they had a search warrant. But no, really, they just coming in to take your drugs, take your money, and then they hook up with some bums out on the street, and then they give them your product, and then they go push it. They take your drugs and go let they little dudes push it for them, and they make their money off of
it. Well, I know police have done it over the years. You know what I'm saying? I'm from New Orleans, and we had a nasty investigation. Of course, we can talk about that. But the whole New Orleans Police Department was on the investigation. And they were hooked up with some dangerous brothers on the streets, and they was putting in work. And the police would tell them what to do and give them drugs. So I know there's corruption in some police departments. Or I'm gonna say police department where they got people that's clicked up like that. It's a strong possibility. I don't want to dispute that, but what I'm trying to really get to is you're saying that they was robbing. So my thing is, when you exposed the footage, what was your goal exposing the footage? I'm trying to really get you to talk about it and what have, because I know you showed some stolen facts about the boyfriend and what have you, but I want to go back to the police officer and how the state handled that case.
What my goal was to expose the footage was to do exactly what it was to expose the footage, because you understand, Daniel Cameron made the announcement that they didn't have enough evidence to take this to trial. So I'm sitting right here, like, what? Like, what you mean you ain't got the evidence? So Sam Aguiar is telling me that he sent Daniel Cameron all the video clips. That's what he's telling me. So I'm thinking in the back of my mind, if he sent Cameron all the video clips, then you had way more than enough evidence. So somebody was lying. And at the time, I couldn't figure out who was lying and who wasn't. I didn't know if Daniel Cameron was lying or if Sam Aguiar was lying. But I knew at the end of the day, I wasn't around to try to figure out who was lying. I was just going to take the evidence myself and dump it on the internet. And that's what I did, because I wanted to prove that, there is enough evidence. And on top of that, there's video proof of Brett Hankinson removing shells out of Breonna Taylor's apartment, which means that's more than enough evidence, just that little bit right there. But there was so much more.
Okay, Cody, next question.
Yeah, the brother who was in the video that I captured, who is he to you?
So Gino, he's a real big supporter. Believe it or not, I haven't even met Gino personally before, but he resides, I believe, in Indianapolis, Indiana, and he's just a big time supporter. He's been watching my stories from day one. He even came down from Indianapolis and was a part of the Louisville protests. Like I said, I never got to meet him, But he was hearing things about me, and he started following me. And next thing you know, he realized that I was telling the whole truth, because he had experience on the ground with the Louisville protests. Because this whole Breonna Taylor case was covered up on the ground, like within the protests. It was covered up within the police department. It was covered up within the media. It was covered up through Until Freedom. There was a lot of people that participated in covering up the fact that Breonna Taylor was murdered by these officers.
And so when the brother was saying that Roland Martin did not want to talk to you on the phone, and he mentioned that you were being threatened, your life was being threatened. Can you talk to us about that and why?
Well, of course, you know, anytime you're standing up against the police department, your life is going to be threatened. Plus, I live in Clan-tucky, keyword Clan-tucky. So there's a lot of, you know, racist people here, you know, that good old boys club, you know, the go along, get along gang, another word that Kwame Brown is calling these people. That runs all through Kentucky. The pipeline of corruption is all through the state. So, of course, with me standing up against the world's biggest gang, which is the police department, of course they're going to threaten me. Of course they're going to try to get me to keep my mouth closed, especially when it comes to the Breonna Taylor case, which was the world's #1 case at one point. And they're sitting back trying to cover it up. And I'm sitting right here exposing that they're lying about everything. So, yeah, threats came in. They falsified charges on me. They took one of the jurors. Well, not jurors, but one of the witnesses that was involved in the Breonna Taylor grand jury trial. They took one of the witnesses and falsified charges on me through her. I sat right here in this very chair that I'm in right now. I broke down the Breonna Taylor case every day. I exposed the protesters and the corruption that they was doing. I exposed Until Freedom, Tamika D. Mallory. And upon doing that, they stuck stalking charges on me, and it stuck. And so then they try to get me to turn myself into a jail that was full of COVID-19, full of a bunch of people that hated me for doing what I'm doing. And I refused to go. And on top of that, you know, I got a contempt of court charge because I told the judge, I pretty much cussed the judge out when she tried to sentence me, because I knew it was, you know, it was a lynching. They was pretty much just trying to lynch me in that courtroom.
You said, do you have a civil action against
Wow, that's amazing. I was wondering why you hadn't told.
you breaking up? What happened? What about the civil action case that you have pending? What's going on with that? That's just on the phone with Detective Britt Hickinson, right?
So what they pretty much made it where I can't get an attorney. No attorney would represent me. I'm currently representing myself pro se. Need an attorney, a civil suit.
Shalom, family. Can I be heard? Can I be heard? Y'all say something in the chat for YouTube.
Can she hear us?
Hello. Yeah, you can be heard. You breaking up. You can talk. Come on, talk. You with the breaking up. Hello.
Yeah, can I be heard?
Yes, you was breaking up. We couldn't hear you. You drowned out.
Right. I'm sorry about that.
You can go ahead.
Hold that thought. Hold on a second. Y'all do me a favor. Y'all like this video and y'all share this video. If you're new to the channel, subscribe to the notification button. Y'all know I'm constantly dropping interviews. I'm dropping all kind of commentary, news, and everything. Get the channel out, y'all. Thank you for tuning in as well. Appreciate you a lot.
So where are you with your case against this one cop? Can you speak on that?
Yeah, I can speak on it. Basically, what's going on with that situation? They're trying to railroad me. They've made it to where all my attorneys just keep dropping from my case. We got something called Derby, the Kentucky Derby. Derby weekend, knew everybody was busy out celebrating, getting drunk, enjoying the Derby festivities. What they did is they removed Brett Hankison from my federal lawsuit. So that was a major political game, politics. That's how they play. When nobody's paying attention, removed him from my case. I still got a case against the Louisville Metro Department. That's my federal law, but it was against the Louisville Metro Police Department and Brett Hankison. So now they removed Brett Hankison, and it's pretty much in. What they did is they put me in a judge by the name of Judge Simpson's courtroom, which if you know anything about how federal procedure works, they put me in. This judge is like the old judge down there. He's a big time Trump person. So they basically put me in a situation to where they're going to screw me all around the board. They're going to screw me, but I'm not going to give up. And I got everything I say about Dickinson. I have video proof. I have witnesses. I have everything. But for some reason, I can't get no justice.
So are you saying that you're having a hard time finding a private defense attorney?
Most definitely. Yeah, they pretty much blackballed the attorneys here in Kentucky. There's a girl that I used to date back in the day. She was my attorney, but she told me straight up. She said, I'm in too deep. They're pretty much blackballing me. And she told me she had to remove herself from the case because basically they're going to come for her. She continues to represent me. So she had to remove herself.
Are you facing the criminal charges as a result of that?
No, I'm not facing any charges. The only charges that I was facing were contempt of court because they took me to court they ran it through family court, I believe. And she tried to hit me with stalking from sitting right here in this chair breaking down the Breonna Taylor case, and it stuck. But it only way I can go to jail is if I got like a contempt of court charge, which I did because the judge tried to tell me I couldn't have guns for years and try to make all these restrictions. Basically, my mind, and I cussed that. I called her, I think I said FUBITCH to the judge, and then I logged out. It was on the Zoom app, which I'm trying to figure out how can you charge me with contempt of court when I was never in the courtroom? If anybody reads the Fifth Amendment, you can't even turn my house into a courtroom. You can't do that. You can't do that. So at the end of the day, me being in the courtroom Zoom app is technically illegal.
I know you've been having death threats, I believe, right? As well as the fact that you say you lost a lot, a barbershop, your job. Talk about personally how it affected you spoken. Listen, you did something that was extraordinary and brave to just come out and call the people you call out. You call out some powerful, powerful people. And whether people want to believe in that, and whether people want to know. And I'm going to ask you this question too after you ask me about the answer. We know, you and I talk, right? And we know about the death threats. We know about what all you lost. Can you tell people about how this became a rally in your life where it brought devastation, where it brought probably some mental health issues? I don't know, you know what I'm saying? You can speak for yourself on that. I'm just saying, can you explain to people how devastating this was?
Well, the death threats, they came in. I live less than 10 minutes away from one of the biggest Ku Klux Klan clusters in the state of Kentucky, in Bullitt County. Live 10 minutes away from them. So I'm not blaming them, but somebody did put a noose on my back patio, put a noose back. I wasn't really tripping because I'm like, at the end of it, you ain't going to be able to get close enough to me to put no noose on my neck. So I'm not worried about no noose. Like, when I see you coming, then, I know how to handle that situation. So I got death threats from of course, racist white people. But the one death threat that surprised me the most was the one that came from Grandmaster Jay's. It came from Grandmaster Jay. Now, it was third party that told me. It was a guy that was communicating to me, telling me what Grandmaster Jay was saying. Can I vouch that Grandmaster Jay actually said these words? No. But the guy called me, and he told me that Grandmaster Jay said this. So that was shocking to know that I was getting a death threat from Grandmaster Jay. And I told him, well, let's get it on. If that's how you feel, let's get it on. But I don't really care too much about death threats because I'm one of them. I try not to let that kind of stuff get weird. I don't want to manifest anything. There's been plenty of death threats, plenty of them.
What about all of your losses and whatever? What about you losing your job, the barbershop? How your livelihood been affected by it? You exposing so many truths.
I mean, I've been heavily. I try not to think about it. I was a person. I don't have I just got a high school. I was making over $100,000 a year. $100,000. I own my own barbershop, and on top of that, I work for a motor company. So I was making great money. They made me lose my barbershop. When they ran in my barbershop, the same cops that did what they did to Breonna Taylor, when they ran in my barbershop, they destroyed my barbershop. They gave me such a bad image. I couldn't recover. Within 2 months, I had to shut my shop down. They destroyed my house. I had to pay $220,000+ for my house. They destroyed my house. My house still hasn't been fixed to this day. Destroyed my cars. Situation where I lost my job before. So, you know, when it comes to financially, they hit me. But I try not to think about that, because I know at the end of the day, I'll be able to recover from that, because I'm a hustler. I'm a go-getter. They might take away my opportunities to make money right now, but as soon as I get this stuff dealt with, back out there on the ground, I'll be fine.
Well, you know, I'm gonna be real with you. Like, there's a lot of people asking, making comments about the stuff you said about Grandma's J, NFAC, whatever. I'm gonna ask you that later, but I want to talk with you about something important. Whether we want to know it or not, Kentucky represents all 50 states in this country. Believe it or not, you know, it's a representation. There was corruption during Katrina where they had police officers. It was televised nationally, where they shot up people on the truck, right? Everybody got locked up. The police officers, the investigating officers, everybody just lied. People, I'm talking about corruption run deep in this country when it comes down to white violence on black, especially if it's police. And I have a question for you, right? Because I mean, you talked about the Breonna Taylor mom, you talked about Tamika Mallory's of the world and what have you. I want to talk about that too briefly, but I want to say this: how we fight this, because what's happening to you, whether people want to make fun and say, well, he's not as credible as, or he be exaggerating or what have you. A lot of us not even 10 toes down in reference to knowing what's really going on. Only the Most High really know, and he know what he's telling the truth about some of the things. But how we as the black people deal with this, obviously your backing is not strong from what I'm observing, right?
Right.
And most of the time, when the truth is brought out, we so resistant, we so negative, we so like, I don't know how we fight it, because this happens too much. This happened too much. Here you was somebody that was doing a job for an attorney that spilled into a mess. Are you seeing all these moving parts and whatever, cover-ups, people not being truthful? Because it's so much I want to talk about, right? But I want to ask you this: how we deal with this? Because right now, brother, it don't sound good at all what you're telling me, and as far as what happened to you. And I have to applaud you for still being mentally strong and being able to still talk about it and be passionate about it. And black people and everybody else might not understand where you're coming from, but I can understand that when you speak the truth and then they come out, because a lot of stuff didn't come out at first, then they come out and you're proving how you had Vice and other publication hijacking who really put out the footage when you did, and so forth, so on. How we as a black people, or black person, because it might not be a black people, how we fight against this? Because this is sad that you did what you did, and when you do that, I said in my description, you're gonna get silenced, exiled, or killed. We see what's happening with GMJ right now. How we deal with this?
Well, the first thing is, man, we got to take back to kindergarten, man. Our first grade. You know what I'm saying? Like, they taught us in first grade. One of our first assignment as children was connecting the dots. You know what I mean? You got to connect the dots, and you make a square, you make a triangle, you connect the dots. And we got to start paying attention, man. This stuff is not rocket science. Everybody be asking me, and they think that I'm like super, super good at this stuff. And I am good at it. Don't get it twisted. But I'm good because I stick to basic fundamentals. I connect dots. And if y'all want to help and people really want to get something accomplished, we got to pay attention to who our enemy is. And more importantly, we got to realize there's a lot of people with this color skin, that's carrying out white supremacy agendas. And we got to accept that. See, we take people like Tamika D. Mallory, and we take all of these different people that we know are corrupt, and we protect them just because they're black. We got to get out of that. We got to get out of that mind frame that, hey, we're going to just protect somebody just because they're black. We have to understand, just like you have descendants of the slave masters, you know, these white people are descendants of slave masters. Well, you got black people who are descendants of house niggas, and they still act like house niggas. So once you understand that, then you understand the monster that you're up against, because you must understand one of the greatest wars in the world was won because of the Trojan horse. And if you know anything about the Trojan horse, then you know that's what's going on with black people. They're taking people who look like us and using them against us. We're our biggest enemy. And we don't understand that there's a lot of people out there that have infiltrated us. They have turned their back on the culture. They don't care nothing about black. They care everything about green. They care about that money. And once you look at it with that mindset, you'll be able to connect the dots, starting with the pastors and the churches. Because you must understand, none of these politicians are powerful without the pastor. The pastor is the one who takes the masses and the black people who's making that money, and he controls their mind, and he gets them to vote for this politician and that politician. So once you start understanding, you know, how they are infiltrating us and how they are keeping us, oppressed, then we can attack it. But we have to have an understanding of everything. You can't just go to war. Before any war gets started, the first thing a country does, they get intel on the next country, and then they get their position. They find, they learn about the grounds, the demographic, and what they're up against. Us, we're just trying to go against these white people and not understanding, hey, we're going against these white people. But at the same time, while we fighting these white people, we got these black people sitting right here looking at all our game plans. So then when we go to unleash our game plan, they already know our plays. They know our plays, and none of our plays are working because we've been infiltrated with people who got the same color skin as us. So the first thing is realizing what you're up against, realizing who's infiltrating you, and learn to connect the dots.
You call Tamika Mallory corrupt. Can you explain why?
Yeah, I think Tamika's corrupt. I think Tamika, over the course of her career, I believe she's like 42, 43 years old or something like that. I think she's done some good things in life. But here's the thing. She is now a product of her environment. So, once you're a black person and you get to doing X amount of good things, then what happens? The politicians want to partner up with you. The politicians want to be your friend. So next thing you know, you become a product of your environment. There's not a good.
Let me jump. I gotta jump. But how do we bridge that gap? Like, do we stay exclusive? I know we talking about building our own nation, the Exodus, and what have you, Jim J. Whatever. How right now, presently, how we bridge that gap? Because we never really come up with nothing to bring to the government. How we bridge that gap? Because somebody has to communicate with them. You can't exile yourself from a government that you pay taxes to. You live in every day. And I'm trying to understand how people be like, don't ask the government for nothing. Don't depend on the government. I get that, but how we have a verse?
It's not about bridging the gap. It's about taking your control, taking your power, using your power. See, the thing is, we rely on the government and politicians to fix a lot of things that we can actually fix. We rely on them to do a lot of things that we can do for ourselves. So we have to look in the mirror and realize what the power is. They made the so phony that the power is in the people, but that's the truth. And once the people realize that, what is a pastor without no church members? Is he gonna have a mega church? Is he gonna have a fancy car? Is he gonna have a big mansion? A pastor with no church members has what? He's gonna have nothing. What is a politician without people who don't vote for him? He's a wannabe politician. He's a wannabe president. So once we realize exactly what our power is, realize we control things and stop giving them so much control, we can actually, get things accomplished. It ain't about bridging the gap. Believe it or not, they need us more than we need them.
But I only said it because what you said about Tamika with the politicians and what have you, that's why I came from that way. You know what I'm saying? In reference to you calling her corrupt, you gave her credit, but then you say she's corrupt, entertaining politicians and whatnot.
She's corrupt because she's became a product of her environment. And you had cut me off. You had let me continue. Basically, what I was saying, she's been around these politicians so much because she was doing some good here and there. But as a black person, if you're able to be strategic as a black person, get things accomplished in the community, you become a target for the politicians. They then want to partner up with you because you have a following. So as she partnered up with these politicians, argument. She became a politician. And all of the politicians are corrupt. They only see one thing, bro. That's money. That's all they see. That's all they care about. That's why they all fighting. Democrats and Republicans to this day, they're fighting over money. Money and power. That's it. That's all they care about. And now Tamika D. Mallory, what is she? They're fighting over money and power. That's the whole argument right now. It's not about if Black Lives Matter. It's not about who's guilty. It's about money and power.
The reason I interrupt, I be trying to catch a thought. I won't be losing my train of thought. I don't know how long you're gonna talk. I don't let you flow. You can go how long you want, but if you say something, jump and try to get that question and then fall back. That's all I'm trying to do. I want you to get all that out. You know what I'm saying? I just want to just make sure I don't forget. I'm gonna let a code ask you some questions.
So you say moving forward, you just want people to, understand what really happened. Do you have a GoFundMe page, or do you have where are you operating? What platform are you using to get your word out?
So the main platform that I've been operating on is my Facebook, and I got a Team Kendrick, which is a lot of my local Facebook supporters, and then I got people from as far as over in London, England, that support me. So I call this is my backbone right here, Team Kendrick. This is all my supporters. I put my Cash App up sometime when I'm in need of things, and people, they donate. I got some people that are generous, that help me out. Like I just got me some computer equipment. I'm about to start getting involved with the YouTube world. I've been working on that. I've been editing. So right now, I just been making it off the back of the money that I had saved up myself, which is getting very low because it's been a while since I worked. So and then people, they donate. I got friends. I got some good friends. My friends on random days will send me $100, send me money. I got people who look out for me. So I just been making it off that. And the way that people can donate to me, I got a Cash App, and it's called My Cut Cash, $, MyCutCash, My Cut Cash. And it's called My Cut Cash because I used to cut her, and I used to have all my barbershop money go to my Cash App. So I still operate off the same Cash App, which is My Cut Cash.
How you feel about Ben Crump?
I think Ben Crump is pretty goddamn evil. And excuse my French. I don't know what kind of platform he got, but I think he's pretty evil. I think he's pretty because this man, he has the same color skin as us. First of all, he knows exactly what's going on, and for him to play dumb, this plays dumb, but yet appears to be so smart when he's in front of the camera. But when it's time to play dumb, he'll play dumb. So I don't like that. I think he's a snake. He's one of the people that I talk about is infiltrating us. He's one of the people that I talk about that is carrying white supremacy agendas.
How you feel about Sam Aguilar?
I think Sam Aguilar is a snake. I think Sam Aguilar is a big time snake. I think Sam Aguilar, even though he got the title of Breonna Taylor family attorney, I believe Sam Aguilar is an attorney.
There was criticism about Breonna Taylor, mom, them selling and what have you. What was your criticism about them?
Breonna.
Yeah.
I think Breonna's mother is a sellout. I think the woman, she had the opportunity to do something that would affect the entire world, because you got to understand, a lot of people are not understanding how big the Breonna Taylor case was. To sum it up, I try to tell people this: the Breonna Taylor case was bigger than the OJ Simpson, and a lot of people are like, you crazy. Nobody was saying OJ's name. Nobody was saying O. Simpson's name. People in other countries were yelling out Breonna Taylor's name. Multiple countries all over the world. And for her mama to take that opportunity that we have as a culture to punch white supremacy in the mouth. So many people that have been hit by cops, and cops never get punished for it. And if they do get punished, real punishment, spank on the hand. And she had the opportunity to prove that these cops murdered her daughter, and instead she sold out and took 12 million. So she took the 12 million. So I can't respect her at all. Not only did she let her daughter down, she let the whole entire world down.
Y'all do me a favor. Y'all like this video. Y'all share it. If you do the channel, subscribe to the notification button, dropping content oftenly.
And I will say this, that's what makes me super controversial, because when I got the contract and I found out that Breonna Taylor's mother signed the contract and agreed to destroy all the things for $12 million, she did this before the criminal.
Wow.
She did this before the criminal trial. So the settlement was before the trial. So she signed the contract before the criminal trial to destroy all the evidence. So when Daniel Cameron stood up there and told the world that there's not enough evidence to prosecute those cops, you know what? He was telling the truth, because there was no evidence, because it all had been removed, because Breonna's mother signed that contract.
So you're saying in this civil action that she had to sign that in order to settle this lawsuit and get $12 million, they have destroyed evidence against the defendant.
Listen, bro, I got it right here. I'll show it to you. She agreed to destroy all the evidence, all of it. So when it went to trial, there was no evidence. There was nothing there.
We can do another live on that. I can get the paperwork and we can kind of like, if you want, I could have done it on my screen, huh?
You want to see this? Let me see if I can flip this camera.
Email it to me. You email it to me. I can pull it up right now and put it on the screen. You got it saved in your phone?
Let me see if I can do it on my other phone. I got it. I'm about to send it to you right now.
All right.
And I'll let you read people. So that's what made me controversial, because when she did that, mind you, I had been working hard. There were some nights that I was up 2 nights in a row, never came home, hadn't took a shower, hadn't ate nothing, because I'm out collecting evidence, doing what I got to do in my life, basically. And this is all my work. She did that. Took to the end. I called her a bitch because I was pissed. I was like, how can you?
I'm gonna just say this. I can't speak for nobody else, but when you work hard on a project, you dedicate yourself to something, it does hurt extremely when you're let down or people don't believe in what you're doing, or they discourage what you're doing, and this is not specifically about what he said about Breonna Taylor mom, but just period how the brother is just passionate about how he felt and what's going on. And there's some real deep things he's talking about, how deep this case was and how big it was, because it expanded to across the globe, bigger than OJ, and that was a strong statement. I'm about to send it to my email. Put it on my email.
Yeah, and the thing that hurts, before I was on, I was a protest leader. So I had already put in so much work being a leader of the protest. And then to think about all the nights that I protested, think about all the nights that I sacrificed my life, got shot with rubber bullets, I got gassed, I got, it was all types of stuff that was happening to protesters, hit with paintballs. And to think about all this blood, sweat, and tears that I didn't put in, and to know that because they offered 12 million, all of this is now for nothing. It was for nothing, because I did everything that I was doing for justice. I told them in the beginning, I wanted justice. I told Sam Aguiar when I walked in his office, I told him, I said, I'm doing this for justice. This ain't about no money. He said, no, we're doing it for justice. You're right, it ain't about no money. I said, all right, if I find out that, y'all corrupt, I'm going to be your biggest nightmare. And here I am. I'm the nightmare, because I found it was all about money.
How you feel about families that settle like that in these police shootings, and not really?
My thing is this. Each situation is different. So it's not family. You got to look at each individual case. Like, I've talked to Miss Tamara Rice, and her situation, what happened with her son, and I've had private conversations with her. her situation is completely 100% different from Breonna Taylor's situation. George Floyd is completely different from Breonna and Tamir Rice's situation. So at the end of the day, you can't judge them all as one and say, how do I feel about family settling? You have to look at the situation, because a lot of situations, you know, it might be a 50 and you don't know how it's going to go. So it might be smart to settle. The Breonna Taylor case, what happened? They murdered that girl. And because those cops had dirt on her mother, because there's a lot of dirt that they got on Taylor's mother. Breonna Taylor's mother don't want that dirt coming out about her personal life, about what she was in. Because a lot of people try to think like Breonna Taylor is such a horrible person, but they don't understand that Breonna Taylor was a working woman. She wasn't perfect, but at the end of the day, her mother had a past. It wasn't about Breonna Taylor's past. It was about her mother's past. And they didn't want what her mother was involved in to come out. So she settled. So I kind of get, you know, she's settling to protect herself, but at the same time, I lose respect for her, because I'm like, this is supposed to be bigger than you. First of all, your daughter was murdered. On top of that, this is about the culture. And you let us down because you protect your past, skeletons that you got.
I'm gonna read this legal document. 1.2, this release on the part of the releasing party shall be fully binding and complete settlement among releasing party and the released party in their heirs, assigned, and assessors. 1.2, the releasing party acknowledges and agrees that the release and discharge set forth above is complete in the general release. Releasing party expressly waives and assumes the risk of any and all claims for damage or injuries which exist as of this date, but of which the releasing party does not know or suspect to exist or do not foresee the scope, whether through ignorance, oversight, error, otherwise, and which, if known, would materially affect the releasing party's decision to enter into this settlement agreement. 1.4, the releasing party acknowledges its duty under paragraph 9 of the protective order in the lawsuit, and will return the original document and destroy any copies of all documents and things procured in the lawsuit as confidential in compliance with the protective order. 2.0, monetary consideration. 2.1, payments. Consideration of this release and settlement agreement. The release party agrees to pay releasing party the sum as aligned below. The sum of $12 million to be paid by release party to releasing party and her attorneys, Lynetta Baker, Sam Egler, and Ben Crump. I'm gonna stop right there.
And I want you to know how tricky they get right there. If you go back up to 1.4, that paragraph 4, it uses the word things. They use the word things to replace evidence. Things. That means evidence. Everything that was used to get that $12 million, which, you know, they had to come with a lot of evidence and facts, you know, to get that settlement, was destroyed. That was all the evidence.
Right. Cool. You have any questions?
Yeah. Do you feel like your efforts and the things that you expose help to bring about the withdrawing of the no-knock warrant law, or the banning of the no-knock warrant law?
That it wasn't banned. That's what people don't realize. All that stuff is a scam. They put it out there that there's a ban on no knocks. There's no ban on no knocks. That was all a scam. They put up a smoke screen to make y'all think Breonna's law was getting passed. The law that Attica Scott originally wrote up, it never got passed. They hooked up with some other politician, Sam Aguilar again, doing some snake devil stuff, hooked up with another politician, pretty much, I say, bought that politician's bought you know what he wrote up, and then they put Breonna's name on it. The original Breonna's law that was written up by Atticus Scott, that didn't get passed. They took some random white man who had some other law written up, and they stuck Breonna's name on it. They told y'all that Breonna's law passed. No, it didn't. No, it didn't.
Question. You're saying, or you had said that it was so powerful that by she signing and agreeing in the civil suit for $12 million to eradicate, destroy, get rid of the evidence, you're saying it was more harm than help because future-wise, it's gonna affect so many black people in the same situation. That what you're trying to say?
Well, you must understand, the settlement was signed a week prior before the criminal charge case took place, so it could damage Breonna's chances of getting justice because there was no evidence left heading into the criminal case.
All right.
Then, when it comes to the culture of the country, here we are. We all amped up. We all, you know, we got this spirit, and we're together as a country, black and white people. There were some white people on our side that was supporting us. A lot of white people, I may add. We all think we about to get this justice, and we get absolutely nothing. Can you imagine what that does to the spirit of all the protesters, to all the people who was out there in the street for X amount of days and nights, for people who lost their business because they chose to protest instead of go to work, for the people who lost their jobs and everything? We got nothing in return. Her mom gets $12 million. We got nothing in return. You know what the city of Louisville got? They got some chicken. Until freedom came, here, passed out chicken.
I think in most cases it's like that when blacks I think settle in cases like this, not all, but in cases like this, because believe it or not, you so happen, and thank you for that, exposing this, right? But
Right.
just imagine a lot of civil actions that we hearing about black people signing of their Joan or Jane Hancock on documents where they have to have concessions, right? Do you think that a lot of these civil actions that's going on late? I know you don't know. I'm just your opinion. Do you think they're requesting the same thing or adding the same concessions in it?
Well, I'll say this, man. We have to be more, as a culture, more about have morals and principles than just chase money. They offer me, a lot of people don't know this, locally in Louisville know this. There was a demand put together for $5 million, $5.2 million for me. I was gonna get $250,000 from Brett's personal estate and then $5 million from the LMPD. I turned it down because I told him I want justice. And a lot of people like, you crazy. How can you turn that money down? Because I'm not no sellout. Could I use $5 million? Yeah, who can't? But I want justice. If I would have took that $5 million, Brett Hankinson is not going to be facing any charges. He's not going to be facing any jail time. I want him to face charges. I want him to go to jail for what he did to me because he ran in my house. My sister's in a nursing home because of them running in my house and what they, he helped coordinate the plan to run in my house. My sister's in a nursing home. My son, I'm not allowed to be around my son to this day because of that incident. I ain't seen my kids since then, since these people ran in my house. This is disgusting, man. It really is. And for them to say, all right, we're just going to give you $5 million. No, I want that man in jail. I lost my business. I wanted to own a barbershop since I was a kid. That was my dream as a kid. I did it. I made it out the money. I opened up my own business. I wanted to make $100,000 when I was a teenager. I said, I'm going to make $100,000 one day. I did it with no college degree. I put myself in position with no college degree as a black man who was raised in a foster home. My parents was never life stable to guide me through life. I managed to put myself in a position to make $100,000 a year legally, and it all got taken away. I want that man in jail.
Cool. Do you have any questions?
No, I just want to say, shouts out to you, my brother, for your tenacity, and your fortitude in standing up for principle in this hour that's so lacking in a lot of our brethren. And so I just want to say all praise to the Most High, and I pray that the Most High continue to guide your steps and protect you, my brother. One love to you. I appreciate you being here.
I definitely appreciate that. Those words mean a lot to me. A lot of people don't know how much words mean. I will say this: since I've been going through what I've been going through, hey, I get some type of email, I get some type of, Facebook message. Means a lot. Those powerful words really do help. I mean, I know a lot of people, donate money, things like that to people in a time of need. But for the people who don't got money and who ain't in position to donate, take time to write somebody, because words have truly helped me with the situation that I'm going through.
Real talk, man. Um, Question: there's a fight going on in my chat. People that support you and the Grandmaster J thing, right?
Uh-huh.
And you spoke about the no knock warrant being the host, and that's not really that really lying about it. It's not a law, what have you, wasn't passed. What did you say about NFAC or GMJ and why you said it?
Well, first, let me say this about Grandmaster J. For me, was he was like a modern day Martin Luther King, Muhammad Ali, Malcolm X. He was sure inspiration. That whole situation with the NFAC, when I first seen that with my eyes, it was the most inspiring thing as a black I had ever seen, because I felt like we had a big brother. And that's what we've been missing as a culture. We don't have a big brother. We don't have nobody who's going to come to our rescue. So with me, I was all for it. I was a big fan. But then as I got to studying it, and I went to Washington, D.C. for the Million Man March, and I got to watching things like he was putting on the show. And then as I spoke to him personally, I spoke to this guy personally several times, face to face. We spoke on the phone. I started realizing some things about this guy. And it's just my opinion. I don't think he's a good leader. I believe he's a sellout. I believe that those soldiers, the NFAC soldiers, that they're committed for real. It might be about 10, 15 of them that are a part of the sellout and a part of Grandmaster J's whole thing, because you got to have some people that are a part of what you're doing. But I believe for the most part, about 95% of the NFAC, those people are real deal and willing to lay it on the line for us. But they was led by the wrong person. I got a lot of respect for the NFAC members, because I believe they truly would die for us. A lot of them signed up and they was willing to lay it on the line for us. But they had a horrible leader. And that's my only problem with Grandmaster J. I just think he's a horrible leader. I think he became a
you think that?
department because, he had.
I told you earlier about you kind of give him credit, but sound like like you took a whole left turn with it.
Because he became a product of his environment. Once again, as a black person, when you do something incredible like on the NFAC, politicians are going to talk to you. They're going to want to become your friends and allies. He bit the apple. He started doing business with those politicians, and before you know it, what we have, the whole NFAC is falling apart. The whole NFAC got a bad name because he became a politician instead of staying on being a leader. And that's the issue I have with him. I believe he became about money. I believe he became about clout. He started going on his morning mentals, and it became a damn reality show. I watched it for all of 10 seconds one time. I never watched it ever again, because it was sad to see him, a person who's supposed to be this masculine black man and a leader, coming off. And it just looked terrible, man. It wasn't a good look for the culture. And that was purposely done by the white people that he was doing business with, the politicians. They shaped and molded him into the fool that he became.
No, I totally disagree with you, but I wouldn't want to go back and forth with you. That I feel what you're saying. That's your opinion and what have you, and I'm gonna respect your opinion. I met the brother on a couple occasions, and we did interviews and what have you, and everybody can be critiqued. So I don't even want to go the other day. I have an admiration, respect for him. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like he did what you and I are trying to do, make a difference, right?
Oh.
People might say when people criticize you. I see people that mention saying that you be I don't want to repeat how they said it, but they were just saying like you always be telling the truth. That happens, but for me, I have a personal respect for him, so I don't really want to comment too much. I just wanted to ask it because the people was in the chat talking about it. You know what I'm saying? But let's
all my stuff that I say, I back. I don't say nothing that I can't back. I back all my stuff with video proof, phone calls, all my stuff I back. One thing about Grandmaster J, like I said, We spoke several times. Several times. I've met with Grandmaster Jay a couple times face to face. We spoke long conversation. This is like this is not no little 10-minute conversation. We're talking about long conversations that I have recorded to this day. So it's my opinion, but at the end of the day, once you get the herd from the I heard it from and get the conversation that I was involved in, maybe you will understand why I think the way that I do. And I could be 100% wrong, but until he proves me wrong, I continue to think the way that I do about it.
All right, all right, let's talk. I was around a brother just Tuesday, the 26th. We was around each other for hours. VIP, one-on-one, all that, right? Interview him and everything. Just like you, the Most High discerned with some kind of spiritual discernment, that third eye, right? I was always told, young, if you really want to know somebody, just listen to them, what they're really about.
Mm-hmm.
Person talking long enough, you're gonna know who they are. From what I get from the brother, he's sincere. Do we have things to work on? I think we all do. You know what I'm saying?
Most definitely.
And I can agree that we can agree that we disagree too. So my whole point basically is, from what I seen, I can't pick up on nothing just for me to say them things, but I'm respecting your opinion. You know what I'm saying? That's how you feel. But I'm just saying, for me, I beg to differ. That's why I said when I talked about people saying something about you, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to really explain it, even though you know your truth. You know you come in a certain kind of way. And I would just use, for example, people gonna find reason to criticize you. Point blank. You know what I'm saying? Me too.
Most definitely. That's part.
I just asked because our people in the chat are talking about things you had said, and then you have people in the chat that support your team, Kendrick, and they going at it, right? Mm-hmm. But right now, exclusively focus on this interview. We can go through the chats and pick out certain chats and what have you, and we'll talk about it. But for me, it's about you, brother. You know what I'm saying? Because what Achoti did, I wanted to do in this show is really salute you. I have your number. That's your line. That's your line. Or is this another number, whatever?
No, that's my line.
So we gonna be able to communicate. You know what I'm saying? I support what you're saying from what you're trying to do, bro. I support your passion. I love how you came back when I talk about bridging the gap, how you came back and talk about doing for self and everything. I love that, because a lot of us not talking about that and really understand that we have the power to do that. And that's my next question is, because you spoke so profound about it, tell us the essence of why we should work together and how we should fight the system.
Well, we need to work together, because at the end of the day, we're not getting no results working with anybody else. We're not getting no results by being the slave that white supremacy has made us to America. You must understand, every single structure in every single country that is recognized in the world, Black people built that. Black people built that. Like the ones that stand out, the monuments, stuff all around the world, we built that. We got the talent to do so many things, but at the end of the day, they are oppressing our talent. More importantly, they're oppressing our IQ. So we're not even able to realize how smart we are. We don't realize that we don't need them. See, they made us think that they're trying to kill us. They made us think that they want us all dead. I got a shot for the whole America. They don't want us dead. This country can't survive without Black people. They can't. But at the end of the day, they don't want us to realize how smart we are. They want us to think that they want us dead and that they don't need us, but they need us. Now, America, all of these countries, anytime there's a war or anytime there's something, you know who wins? The Black man. Anytime they're trying to get out of space, you know who solves their question to help them get out of space and to do the little things that's going to help them get their plans and agendas off is Black people. Black women participated in those rockets that went up there and did what they did. At the end of the day, they need us. Get too much done without us. We built this country, so we just got to realize we need to come together and build our. We need to build our. I'm not saying completely cut white people as a whole out, but I'm saying government. We government, because we are government. We're good people. We protect our. We are punished people doing things that they should be doing. If we build our family correctly and we get back to our basic morals and principles, we've stepped away from our moral principles. They stripped us of our integrity. They've lowered our IQ. But at the end of the day, we gotta wake up and realize what we are.
I have a strong question for you. I heard you use the word sellout. I heard you spoke critical about black people that's influential or black people that have made moves. Not told that you're in agreement with. Can you ever see yourself working with them, communicate with them, trying to get it right?
Most definitely. See, a lot of people think, when I call out people like Tamika D. Mallory and Grandmaster, that I can't work with them. I can work with them, but at the end of the day, I'm only going to work with when they realize I'm not going to work with an infiltrator. I'm not going to be working with somebody that I know is just going to tear down anything I do and is coming to destroy everything I try to do. I'm not going to work with a person like that. But if a person has made honest mistakes, like you said, Grandmaster Jay, he ain't perfect. None of us are. Might have made some mistakes here and there. I can understand. If a person bit the apple, it's cool. You bit the apple, just don't eat the thing. Now that you know what that apple is, like, what corruption is trying to do, then come on and get some of this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. That's what I'm saying. Ain't none of us perfect. I got paid $18,000 by Aguiar, $18,500 to be exact, when I started working that case. But I had to make a decision. Did I want to continue to make money, or did I want to step away? Because I knew the path they was trying to lead. I made the decision to step away. I had the same opportunities and the same, people in my area that they had. I know who Team Corruption is. I know what corruption sounds like. I know what it looks like. I've learned to identify it through this situation that we went through with the Breonna Taylor case. But I made a decision to have morals and principles and not just be about the money. Do I want to make money? Of course. Who don't? But at the end of the day, I want to make a change. I want to be there for my people, and I want to lead my people correctly. I want to lead y'all all day, every day. But if I take y'all head the wrong direction, I want to be the first person to say, hey, y'all going the wrong way. Come this way. And that's all I'm trying to do. I'm trying to let people know we're going the wrong way right now.
I do have a comment for you, and I hope you don't take it the wrong way. But I believe, I'm gonna ask you a question. No, it's gonna be a comment directly at you.
No stuff.
Can you be more? No, it's gonna be a question. Can you be more careful and not using words like sellout and so forth, so on platforms where it's public like this, and then whereas it's gonna be a natural offending. You know what I'm saying? And number one, I want you to speak your truth. But I think sometimes you have to use tact, especially when you're trying to navigate, you're trying to connect and resonate. Because you got to realize when you do that, you're offending not just that person, but the people that's following that person. So for me, I'm a warning you. Nothing wrong with that. Like I feel like we use discrimination, racism, and we say it too much as opposed to doing what we got to do. We know what it is and so forth, so on. It become more of a mental thing with us believing all this nonsense as opposed to really fighting and battles. You fought through and I fought through, get what was that, probably what happened to you. And I'm just saying, future-wise, you may want to think about that. Now, whether you take my advice and answer this question and call it, it's just something I want to share with you.
I get what you're saying, and I appreciate the advice. I get where you're trying to go with the advice. And I'm always willing to be advised. I'm not willing to be controlled. Nobody's going to control me, but I'm willing to be advised. And I feel like you're trying to drop that advice coming from a good space. Today, bro, I don't understand what we're talking about as far as when I say sellout. I'm calling a spade a spade. And you must understand, Black people get so sensitive when to leadership. Work hard in every other life. We can listen to music that say all types of crazy things. We can let our pastors say all types of bluntly honest things. But when a person is speaking from leadership, you want me to tread lightly and not just call the spade a spade. I'm gonna call the spade a spade. We was talking about these people, and we was talking about why do I feel the way I feel about them. And I'm telling you that they're sellouts. They're exchanging their pride and their culture for money. So that is a sellout. There's nothing else to call it. They're sellouts. If a person's not a sellout, in my opinion, these are all opinions. I can be challenged and we can debate on this all day long. I'm open to a debate with whoever. But at the end of the day, these are my opinions. And I'm going to stick to the word that I choose to use, which Tamika D. Mallory, Grandmaster Jay, and others, Benjamin Crump, they're sellouts. That's my opinion. And I'm sticking to it.
I'm not, listen. It's public now. This is live.
Most definitely.
It's going to be in the universe.
Most definitely.
Look, it's your life, it's your decisions. I'm getting this future-wise. It has nothing to do with right now. That's how you feel. I'm talking about future-wise. This has
But
nothing to do with. I'm not trying to stop you from being you. Because when
right.
I speak my mind, I speak my mind. You watch my videos, I speak my mind. You know, I'm just saying though. I was just trying to, give you advice, bro. But I don't want you. If that's your
No,
opinion, that's your opinion.
no. Let me ask you this, and I talk the way I talk, so it might sound. It's just I'm passionate, bro. So let me ask you this: if you think somebody is a sellout, do you have another word to call them? Because I'm telling you what I think they are. So why should I? You know what I'm saying? Like what am I gonna call them? I'm calling them what I think.
Listen, I get you. I'm older than you. I know that, right? I just believe sometimes you have to use tact. That's my opinion, especially when you're on a political platform. I'm not saying don't be yourself. Like sometimes you're gonna have to be blunt like that, and that trying to fit a lot of people. But I also think you have to be. I just me personally, I believe in tact more than anything. Even though I've been aggressive in the way I speak and what have you, but there's time I just think about how I want to be delivered. You've been speaking this product before you come to my platform. You've been speaking like this, so obviously this is not something that you just done on my platform. I was just giving advice, but no, if you feel like that's how you want to speak about it, cool. I'm just saying that sometimes you gotta use tact. If that's not
Yeah,
how you feel, that's on you.
I completely understand that, and I'm a person. I got mannerisms. I speak with a lot of respect, but you got to understand these are heated topics, and we're talking about some heated situations and some things that involve the whole culture. When it comes to these conversations, bro, maybe you have some type of example and show me, but I don't think you do. Where does tact? Where does it benefit to use tact? At the end of the day, we have to be blunt. We're dealing with
All right.
black people respect blunt honesty. It might make you mad, it might make you upset, but that's what we are. We're bluntly honest.
Well, all right, let me use an example. And I was touched by this. I watched Kwame Brown interview Devin George. This brother was talking about building a whole community, right?
Mm-hmm.
Housing, employment, helping people I can say start their business, but having a spot where they can have their business at, right? And at now time, this brother ever said anything about discrimination or racism, right? This brother even make that he didn't have a tunnel or peripheral view of it. He didn't even care. And I was so touched because I think about all the time I talk about it, right? And how I give it power. And I just felt like he was tactful the way he was talking, right? And don't think he don't know. When he's talking about doing for black, there's a reason why he's talking about doing for black. He gives an example of his dad, you know what I'm saying? Chosen to buy from a black stores, pulled the black store, and then check the guy who was giving a ride to that, say he didn't want to buy from the black man. He gonna buy from the white man. So if you go buy from the white man, you gonna walk back home. And I just feel like it was tact he used. Because he's not, and I'm just trying to say that's him and what have you. But I took something from that book. Nobody told me just me talking. I took that from that. That was a lesson to me to see what sometimes you just got to know how to talk to people and just stay focused on what's the goal is.
Right, but you must understand not your average conversation. I know how to have tactful conversations. Don't get it twisted. I know how to have a conversation. We're not this right here. You can't be tactful about this conversation. We're talking about the murder of Breonna Taylor. We're talking about the leadership of Grandmaster Jay and Tamika D. Mallory. There's nothing to be tactful in this conversation about. There's nothing. These are hot topics. These are topics that come with a lot of emotion, a lot of tension. There's people in my city that's died off the back of the protests. You know, those same cops that run in Breonna Taylor's house done been in my house. This is not a moment tactful. If we was having a conversation about other things in another situation, yeah, I can be tactful. I got mannerisms. I know how to hold it and be very tactful. I'm a tactful person, to be honest. But this is not a conversation that calls for me to be tactful. This is an emotional roller coaster, and we still ain't got no justice. But yet we got these leaders that y'all want me to sympathize for, like Grandmaster Jay and it's Tamika D. Mallory. When I've got experience with them and I witnessed with my eyes their corruption, I witnessed with my eyes them being sellouts. With my eyes, I've witnessed these things. And you want me to be tactful? I'm sorry, bro, I can't. I'm on too much of an emotional roller coaster, and my eyes have witnessed too much. My ears have heard too much.
Brother, I'm not asking you to sympathize with nobody. I'm not asking you to speak no kind of way. I was speaking future. If you know about tact and mannerism,
what's that?
like power, kudos, peace. I'm not trying to be confrontational. I respect your truth in your walk. I had you on my I invited you on the platform because you had a story to tell, and your story is very profound. That was just a side note of me just sharing that. You know what I'm saying? A sidebar, something like that. It's not for you and I to like for you to feel like I'm challenging you on how you feel in your opinion and whatnot. You know what I'm saying?
I don't feel like it. Letting you know for this conversation, I can't do that. But
All right.
forward, like I said, it was great advice, but I can't be tactful in this conversation. I'm sorry, I can't.
All right. Thank you for the super chat. CSW official. Ask him for the facts. He's just lying. This guy is with a motive. Mute him. I'm thank you for the super chat. He giving his opinion. He was first. He had boots on the ground. He was involved with the Breonna Taylor case. That'll be something if you want to do it, what have you. As far as proving whatever he's saying about whoever, and as for muting him, I'm not. He's a guest. He have a story to tell. I'm sorry, but I can't answer that. But I'll let him respond if he chose to respond.
What's the question? What are you responding to?
Ask him the facts. He's lying. This guy is with a motive. Mute him.
He said I was with a motive. I'm lying.
Yeah, it's on the screen right there.
This is what I would say to the people. I'm sorry, I'm trying to put my dogs up. They're acting crazy, right? Come on. This is what I say to the people that say that I'm lying. If I'm lying, then prove that I'm lying. Because here's the thing: ain't nobody out there. First of all, let me say this: there's not nobody out there that knows more about the Breonna Taylor case than me. There's not nobody that has more experience with those cops than me. Come on. There's not nobody that has more experience than me with those cops. There's not nobody out there that can prove me wrong with anything when it comes to the case. You got people who can say whatever they want to, because for some reason, people have an issue with me being the person that knows the most about the case, with me being the person that's just hands-on with the case. People have an issue with that. And I understand it because we live in a culture where people are very jealous. But at the end of the day, you can make comments on that all day long. But last time I checked, I've been doing this for a year straight on my Facebook. Go prove me wrong. If somebody think I'm lying, then make a YouTube channel and call it Kendrick's Lying and prove that I'm lying. You can't do it. If you could prove that I was lying, then the government here in Kentucky, they would have been there and done it. There's not nobody out there that can prove that I'm lying because I'm not. I have nothing to lie for. I don't think y'all understand what I said earlier. I was making over $100,000 a year legally. I have a high school diploma. That's it. What am I lying for? What am I going to gain from this? I was told before I even did this not to do this and what was going to happen to me, and I still did it. I have nothing to lie about.
And I want to clarify something. I respect any and every black person's truth. I'm being truthful. I'm not here to argue with nobody's opinions, not even a chat or when people make comments. I know there's things he probably say offend people, and that happens. But I want to have an open, candid conversation with this brother. Thanks to Cody again for getting this footage on Roland Martin and asking that question. He was the brother on the phone that was trying to talk to Roland Martin. And that's my question. Why you wanted to go on Roland Martin's show? Or why you wanted to talk to him?
Why wouldn't I? My whole goal is exposing what's going on with the Breonna Taylor case. I never really was interested in going on the show until he said that Tamika D. Mallory would debate anyone on the platform. So I said, okay, that's a challenge. That's one person. Everybody wants to talk about I'm lying. Well, tell Tamika to come debate me. Tamika's scared to death of me. She won't debate me. She won't even say my name. She be talking about me. And for people who live in Louisville, they know that we know that she's talking about me. She say little stuff, but she's scared to death of me because I'm the one person that will expose them for real. I'm the one person that will truly expose them. She wasn't never no leader of no Louisville protests. I was. Me and a few other people here in Louisville, Kentucky. She never had thousands of people following her. Me and a few other people did. We built this thing up. When they found out what we did here in Louisville and how we had our protests, how we grew it, and it was big, then they sent Tamika D. Mallory down to water down the protest and to take the people from people like myself. That woman's not a real leader. That woman she's a pawn that's being used in the white supremacy chess game. And if she ever wanted to change on any platform, like Roland said, then let's get it on. That's what that whole exchange was about. Because Roland's the one who went on his YouTube channel and he said Tamika D. Mallory was willing to debate anybody. Well, let's get it on. I'm ready.
Thanks for the super chat against CSW official. He's lying. Shows the proof. Grandmaster J sold out. Where? What is that? YE or liar through the 5.
Here's the thing, bro. You're gonna have people who call me a liar all day long, and I'm cool with that. But here's my thing: prove that I'm a liar. They can't. They can't prove that I'm a liar. I can prove everything that I'm saying, bro. Everything. Everybody from Louisville who watches my Facebook, they laughing at these people right now because they know I'm the #1 fact person out there. I don't do nothing but drop facts. That's all I do. I drop facts. I built my whole platform. Show me a person who's built their whole platform of dropping nothing but facts backed by video, phone calls, everything I say. I can back it up. Everything.
Moving forward, how far are you trying to take the Breonna Taylor case?
I'm trying to get a justice, man. It's that simple. I would like to see it go to the Supreme Court.
Well, Elena was talking about she's a sister I know. She's offering the self-determination and whatnot, 7 hour on land, and she has a powerful platform. She may have mentioned about taking to the international court. You ever thought about doing that?
I've been studying that right. We've been studying world court. It's a lot to it, man. But you can only move how you move, and right now I'm hoping for Supreme Court. But at the end of the day, this, bro, for the people who say that I'm lying, I want to go back to that. Am I the only person that's lying in their opinion since I'm so-called lying? Like, so when they say that I'm lying, does that mean that they believe what the police are saying? Because I'm trying to figure out if I'm lying, then who's telling the truth? Because last time I checked, the police chief got before the camera and told the whole world, because the world was watching, that there was no body cam footage. When he told the whole world there was no body cam footage, I went and dropped body cam footage so the world can see it. So I'm trying to figure out who's telling the truth.
Y'all do me a favor. Y'all like this video. Y'all share this video. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Hit the notification button. We drop content often. Achoti, do you have anything you want to say or ask?
What the brother is alluding to is what Kwame Brown was talking about, the go along and get along gang. Some people don't feel that some people feel uncomfortable with rocking the boat. And what King Kendrick did was he rocked the boat. He made a lot of people uncomfortable. A lot of people did not want to put their feet in the fire, which Kendrick did. And so his opinion on others really is, just that, his opinion. Like buttholes, we all have one. But at the same time, I cannot turn a blind eye to the fact that King Kendrick was spitting out receipt after receipt after receipt. And so, yes, when the prosecuting attorney decided that there was no charges to be brought, then I was really taken aback knowing that I had, witnessed what Kendrick was witnessing himself, and the fact still remained that Breonna Taylor got a raw deal. So shouts out to the brothers to keep her story in the limelight and still trying to fight for justice, even when it appears that her own family has decided that her life It's only worth $12 million. That's the point.
And another thing I want to add, bro, after they got the $12 million, you know, because it was before, I was more concerned about justice. I told him, I said, y'all settle for what y'all want to. You know, I said, I think the case is worth well over $100 million because there was a lot of people involved in the corruption. I said, but y'all settle for whatever y'all want to, because they asked me what they should settle for. I wasn't worried about the money. I was worried about the next trial. I was worried about the criminal. So when it came out that there was going to be no charges filed against those cops, only wanton endangerment charges, I was pissed off. So what happened is the lead attorney, Sam Aguiar, he called my phone. He called my phone after the charges was announced that he was only going to be charged. Brett Hankinson was only going to be charged with wanton endangerment. I recorded the phone conversation, bro. And my thing is, it's on my YouTube. How can anybody question anything that I say once you listen to Breonna's lead attorney and me talk on the phone? It's on my YouTube channel. It's on my channel. How can you question it? It's right there. He's called me and he's like, he's apologizing. And I'm saying, no, you sold out. And I'm pissed. And I'm telling you took all my work and you traded it for $12 million. We should have dropped the body cam footage. I'm telling him all this stuff. This is a real conversation that's on the internet. So I'm trying to figure out what more could y'all possibly want for me to validate my stance and what I'm trying to do as far as get Breonna Taylor justice. When you listen to that phone call, it tells you they sold out, and I was not with that. I was not a part of the go along, get along game. This man was on his way to my house to bring my money. I told him, nah, I'm scared to meet with you. He said, I'm on my way out to your house. You know what he was coming to do? Drop that money off. I didn't take no more money from him. I didn't want none of that 12 million, none of it. I was going to get a nice little chunk. I wanted none of it. A lot of people don't know this. I was the MVP, not just on the legal team. I was the MVP. It was me and Sam Aguiar. Benjamin Crump never came into office, never put in any work. All he does is talk to y'all. His job is to talk to the public. And how he got that job, I don't know. Because this man, he's not a good talker. But that's his job. He's never been in office. He's never helped solve anything. Sam Aguiar gave me the whole case file and told me to go to work. And as I was going to work, he was paying me. I was solving it quick and he was kicking quick. Because he knew no matter what he gave me, he was going to get millions for what he gave me. He gave me $18,000 in less than 2 months. $18,000 because I was solving it every single day, coming with new stuff. So how can anybody question me? He's muted.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. First and foremost, thank you, King Kendrick, for coming on the platform and telling your story. You can share your last words and what have you, but I want to really let you know that I salute all the work you did, what you exposed, how you came on the platform and just touched on a lot of things. Of course, some things was controversy and what have you, and we can see the chat, the back and forth and whatnot. But I really appreciate what you're doing, man. Keep doing it. You have my number so you can call. And by the way, I forgot to tell everybody, it's Breonna Taylor's birthday. Happy birthday. Rest in power, Queen Breonna. It's her birthday day, y'all. It's Breonna Taylor's birthday, so it's a coincidence. The stars are aligned. There's a reason why King Kendrick Wilson came on the channel. Achoti, thanks to her working in the fields, found out that Roland Martin was pulling his leg, with actually handing his brother out about what's going, the truth about the case. So peace and blessings, and rest in power to Queen Breonna. Happy birthday again. And I want to thank this brother. And hey, man, I just want to let you know you got my number. You know how to holler at me, what have you, and we'll talk. You know what I'm saying? But give your shout out, bro. His YouTube channel is in the description, so y'all can subscribe. You want to subscribe to it, as well as the article talking about him and all what he had did and whatnot. How very, very passionate he was about proving the corruption and what have you. But give your last words before we close out, my brother.
Just want to say thanks for having me on. I definitely appreciate it. I'm kind of new to this whole YouTube thing. It's Kwame season right now on YouTube, but best believe I'm about to take my content and I'm gonna be over on YouTube. Y'all can check my channel out. It's very light right now, but I am gonna be uploading a lot of stuff on my YouTube. I mainly operate Facebook, which is Kendrick L. Wilson, and my main Facebook, Lamar Wilson. You can look me up on there. I've been doing this stuff for over a year. I've been breaking down this case. I just want to say to you, bro, I don't know if I'm back on the show. I don't mind coming back on the show. But what happens is anytime anybody interview me, you're going to get a phone call. You're going to get a phone call from some people with a lot of money, and they're going to offer you money not to bring me back on. This has happened several times. So I just want to let you know you're going to have a decision to make, bro. But I appreciate you letting me come on. But best believe they're going to be hitting your phone, and they're going to be trying to get you not to bring me back on. You're going to realize what you're dealing with me. The phone calls are going to come in. The haters are going to be hating. But at the end of the day, I do appreciate you giving me the opportunity to come on and speak my truth.
Brother, I can't be bought. You know, I'm for the people. Like, I get bashed and get criticized and fussed at how I might come off and things I might say, how I might feel about things. That's just life. My life is good. I tell people that. You know what I'm saying? I haven't sold out this. No, I'm definitely not trying to sell out. But at the same time, I be trying to meet black people somewhere in a good space where we can really sit down and talk, you know. And I don't think it's always for the universe. No, we talk about, I believe we should have a private platform. We can just talk, you know what I'm saying, and really discuss business, put boots on the ground, and take care of business. We have real problems. Rest in peace, happy birthday for Queen Breonna, but there's a lot of people around this country is being harassed, being killed, being incarcerated, being mistreated on jobs and what have you. And we have to come up with answers. You know, our community is lacking certain kind of businesses, lacking buy black support and so forth, so on. So, I mean, you have to never worry about that, man. Like I said, if you want to come on, you have something to say, cool. I see the controversy. I see people feeling a certain kind of way. But I'm just gonna say this to you, man. Moving forward, you know, you be safe and take care of yourself.
Most
you know, the journey you taking the path is very powerful, bro. And you got the full support from me in reference to what you're trying to do with Breonna and period. Because a lot of things you say it wasn't just about Breonna, it was just about the community too, coming together and realizing that we can do this. We can really get justice. So I appreciate that, man. You come on the platform. Thank you.
I appreciate you, bro. You have a good one.
All right, too. Peace.
Peace.
Hey, I know it's been a crazy, crazy day, and I appreciate everybody being patient. I know from what it looks like, he's not popular with some of the black community and some of the things he said, but it's said, it's done, and it is what it is. You know, they said for every action there's a reaction. There's also a consequence to our action. You know, I even heard somebody say, I was trading the lines and what have you. I don't know what that means because as far as I'm living, my life has always been an edge. You know, I've always been a person that took chances. You know, so I walk not in fear, but in the light with the Most High hovering over me all the time. I'll go through your comments, see what y'all talking about, and I want to thank you for tuning in. I want to thank you for the chat. Chats, I want to thank you for the super chats and what have you. I appreciate that from CSW. Appreciate that. Go to some of the comments. Shout out to my people out. So many.
You know, Major, I just wanted to add, and I should have mentioned it to his brother, but he should seriously thinking about opening up a private investigative firm because he did excellent work with investigating this case, and he was the one, I'm telling y'all, that really exposed the corruption that was going on with the private companies that was hooked up with the police department, and as well as the people that was hooked up with the city officials. It was just a whole lot. You know, Grandmaster James spoke on that, how they were systematically trying to buy people out of that neighborhood. And you know, we have to wonder why was Breonna Taylor's place targeted? You know, like they had a no-knock warrant for that house, and so why was she targeted? We will never really know, especially when now we see that Kenneth, the boyfriend, was actually the one that they thought was the ex-boyfriend. And it's just a mess. And I just like want to say once again, regardless to how we may feel about Kendrick personally, I think that he did bring about a lot of receipts, more receipts than the police produced in regards to letting us know what happened in the death of Breonna Taylor. We can't take away facts. Fact is, he bought receipts.
What you trying to say? Factual feelings?
Say, brother,
Anyway,
that you know we can have this conversation when it's about business, and that's business. Like I said, that brother should open up a private eye firm because he's good at what he does. That's business. Facts.
we can't. Like I said, I understand he says controversial things, but the brother should hold a document and show why they couldn't pursue the prosecution because of on his legal document that Breonna Taylor mom signed. And I read it out to y'all, and y'all seen it. It's in the universe. I understand it's people that don't like what he said about Jim J. prior to Mika Mallory. I openly told him I disagree, but at the same time, I respect the fact that that's how you feel. We kind of went back and forth, but I didn't want to keep going there, right? And we can't discredit what he showed and what he proved and the stuff that Achoti just spoke about. So I definitely have to salute the brother. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. So we still have to stay on cool, y'all. We still black people thriving on black liberation. Atlanta Porter Jay brought our grievance to the surface. He never changed his stance, even when he ran for president. He was addressing racism. Where did he change? Nat Turner, at Kendrick, you making it. I did this, me, and me focus on Brian Taylor. Stop searching for fame. Your clues be real and not making yourself a BS. Darren's podcast. Jim J. Gunn is still in there. He ain't doing any protection for the people whatsoever. Stacey Rice says, scares me that some of these supporters are so immature yet on. Tina X said, the major stop talking to Riff Raff, not a good look. Anonymous Jones, just because him and Jim J got a personal beef don't mean he's lying about Breonna. Plus, he's shown a bunch of evidence. Troop, how you doing? The truth came out when Jim J went to Kentucky. Warren McElroy, I was listening to Kentucky. I was listening to Kendrick back during Taylor's investigation. It's a wonder he's still alive. May God bless him. He has a story to tell. Shamika Ghosted. I'm questioning you calling Jim J a sellout, etc. With you calling for protection when your circle go along, the circle of go along to get along people showed you where you truly stand with him. Tribe to YouTube. Let's get a debate with Kendrick Lamar Wilson and Tamika Mallory and L this all out. D. Marie, what's up? If he's so concerned about getting justice for Breonna Taylor, please tell him why he's talking about Tamika Mallory and Grandmaster J. He's strong all wild perms all over the place. Now, I admit, say he did it a lot, but he also sounds envious of brother Jim J. Stacy Wright, people would think what they want about someone. We would have that right.
Now, can I just say this, Major? Look, let me say this. It's always three sides to every story, right? It's always his side, their side, and then there's always the truth. So when we take one person's side of the story and then judge the whole situation just on that one side, we're behaving foolishly. That's a foolish act, and that's dangerous. Because if you don't know all the facts, you don't know both sides of the story, you will never be able to arrive at a reasonable judgment. That's all I want to say.
Right. Nat Turner, on her birthday, he is disrespecting the mother. You should be not Charlie Kendrick daddy. Advice from a brother to another brother. Just make yourself a BS. Queen Dread, then why didn't you get the state to move on the case? It wasn't until NFAC pulled up, public gave the Kentucky DA 30 days to do something before saying he'll pull up in Kentucky. Happy Earth Day to Breonna. Lawyer Balls Rennie. Jim J reached out to Kendrick along with others with intentions and motives. Even Reed said, on to the next brother. Yes, indeed. Y'all be cut up by you. Charles singing, why no one is listening to Kendrick if he's got so much evidence? Someone else needs to be sued in this matter. Kendrick in the building. Kendrick Wilson. How many of these people was exposing Brett Hankinson before help did what he did to Breonna Taylor? I was exposed him since 2016. Nasman Jones said, as you can see, no one cares about the country show. No one cares about justice and getting free. I say one thing. I have a whole lot of secrets. I see a lot of, and I'm not getting involved with that. Y'all not got nothing but love for y'all. I love y'all. I love black people. But I'm not getting involved with that. We have to have an intelligent adult conversation, whether we agree or disagree. Everybody have a story to tell, and we have to find our way in telling it. Fortunately, I was able to get his brother share a platform where we can just talk his truth and how you feel, whether we agree or disagree. We lost somebody. We lost Breonna Taylor. Today's her birthday, and as a people, we tend to get stuck on the wrong things as opposed to really seeking true justice, true liberation. And sometimes you get stuck in the mud. You can't move fast enough. Sometimes you get stuck in that spot, or you get sidetracked in what's really important. And it's sad as all black people in this chat, with the exception of Warren McElroy, but he's white. We going at it, and we know people watching us, right? Sometimes we have to keep our cool. Sometimes we have to not react all the time. Sometimes we don't have to. And sometimes we do react. We have to use, as I was telling the Kendrick, tact, you know what I'm saying? But that's my opinion. If you chose to want to just say what you have to say or do what you got to do, cool. In the day, we all black people. We should be strong, proud black people. And we should definitely appreciate the obvious, and that's the fact that we are people out here putting boots on the ground and doing something, as opposed to a lot of people that's not doing nothing but just talking and bull crapping and not really realize how serious this is. And somebody had called me out the day and called his name out about me just talking because of what happened on the panel today. And I called Brother Questman Abdullah, and I apologized to him. I also gave him peace of my mind about how I felt, you know what I'm saying, about the situation. People understand I'm very passionate. I don't just do this to be doing it. I am putting boots on the ground. It's things I'm doing I haven't told y'all. You know why we do this? It's about first putting together. We soon something on the ground, we're doing this. We do that, people listen. So you know when it's good, evil is present, right? So we have to definitely be mindful of that. Stop doing this. Somebody say, man, you keep saying this, that, another, but you doing the same thing. You only see me because I'm only speaking to people to encourage and to motivate and get them to see that, hey, it's time to step up. I could have just been chilling. I have to be doing YouTube stuff. I ain't making money off YouTube like that. Y'all see me driving truck. I was on a truck last night driving, doing a whole live. I'm getting the bag, and I have an online company. You feel me? And I'm looking at the trucking game. And I'm messing with stock market and all this other stuff, right? My hand living everything. But I'm saying that not to brag or toot my horn, to say that you don't always do this. Me and Cody been working on some things behind the scene that people don't even know about. Because it's not for everybody to know. When you put boots on the ground, you just do it. And then you'll find out later. Because see, we should do this in all our communities, not just one community. Too many times we wait on somebody, we can do something ourselves. But for me, and what I'm saying that we doing this a lot. It's like, damn, like I didn't like some of the things, but was said, but that's that person's opinion. I'm gonna respect that. I'm not gonna go out there and and I just was just trying to attack, but the brother said, hey, how can you say you're gonna call a spade a spade? Okay, cool, do what you do. But I do have respect for that person, Jim J. I'm not gonna go that far, right? I know none of us perfect. But we have to stay on code and stay focused. We always talk about facts over feelings. That's one of the things we're dealing with right now. Is this dealing with the inside, not reacting to everything. There's people in our chat right now probably don't see eye to eyes, but they understand one thing. They're here to get a message. They're here to try to galvanize, organize, and mobilize. That's what it's all about. Val Williams, peace and blessings, MajorTv and family. From NJ, what's happening with you? I'm just not getting involved with that. This platform is not about putting out dirty laundry on nobody, and not about bashing nobody and blah blah. It's about positive vibration energy. If a person says something I don't like, I'll address it. You know what I'm saying? If it's too much out of line, I may have to shut it down. I never ran across anything like that. But it's really real. We go through. And we gotta find ways to understand. We're gonna agree that we disagree. And let's move on. David Price. I can tell you from being from Louisville, this white guy believes the narrative on Breonna. After finding out about Kendrick, he showed the truth. It was a robbery gone wrong. Damn, that was deep. Now we missed that part, but I'm going to go back on that. I tell you, from being from Louisville, this white guy believed the narrative. This white guy believed the narrative on Breonna. This white guy. After finding out about Kendrick, he showed the truth. It was a robbery gone wrong. What white guy are you talking about?
I believe he's talking about the attorney, Aguilar.
Oh.
I believe he's trying to say after Kendrick did his investigation, he revealed that there was a robbery. Like Kendrick said that they were going around all the neighborhoods robbing people under that no-knock warrant legislation that President Obama signed.
Yeah,
so I think that's what he's alluding to. So when Aguilar, the attorney that was representing the family, found out when Kendrick brought that information to him, that's the white guy he talking about, and he shut it down. He was like, no, we can't expose that, because you have to understand that attorney have to work in that town, understand, and the judges, the prosecuting attorneys, and the police officers, and the defense attorneys. That's a network. That's a good old boys club. It's a code. They got a code amongst each other. Yeah, that's real. So yeah, they found out that Kendrick was about the real, and they tried to pay him to shut up. Basically, is what that's in layman's terms. They tried to pay Kendrick to shut up.
Thank you for sharing that. And that's the government. That's the world we live in, right? Society. Thank you, Lisa Jackson, for the super chat. I like how you explain to the young man about using tag before you speak. Good advice. Thank you, sister. We gotta do that. We gotta do that more. I mean, I understand something how they call it how it is. Sometimes you do have to be tactful. Like that was for whatever's worked for him and anybody in the chat, anybody that's the universe on a replay. You know, you gotta pick your wars and your fights carefully. And I know when it's about the people, you gotta be unapologetically black and get the message out. If you're gonna call a spade like he said, then stand by it. I'm quite sure he is, because he repeated more than once. But I do believe in that, you know, and I admire, you know, his stance about the Breonna Taylor case and what have you. I admire the fact that he's still fighting for justice. And I understand the reaction from some of our people in the chat. But I just think that we still have to be focused. And sometimes we get a little too emotional. Just because a person criticizes or say something, you don't have to always respond. You know, you don't. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to kill a person with silence. Sometimes you got to keep a person wondering and thinking where you coming from. Like I was telling Jen in an interview, I was little. And guys big like me, when they fussed at and they was fussing or cussing me, so they turned their head, I'm picking up something. I responded. I hit them. I never was a person to boo boo all that. I'm not with that. You know what I'm saying? Because too many times you go to fussing, you say the wrong thing. You don't know. You didn't press a whole button. That person reacted. That's why, you know, as men and women, we have to know how to talk to each other. You know, and I understand this is an open platform. We were just talking about everything, and I asked them certain questions because a lot of things was going on in the chat that I was watching. Y'all think I'm gonna be watching the chat? We watch the chat, but I be also be attentive to the guests or what have you. And I just feel like as a people, we have to know how to humble ourselves. We have to understand that it is what it is around us. It's really crazy all around us, and we have to decipher, understand what's going on, and then know how to move. In this country, we gotta do that every day. We gotta know how to maneuver in this country every day, even those who got money. So it's real. But I do appreciate everybody with their commentary and comments and what have you. I just hope we realize what we're talking about, what we're fighting about, what's going on, and what we're disagreeing about. And understand we're gonna agree that we disagree. That's just life. Breonna Taylor was already solved, but the court system in Louisville is corrupted by LMPD and judges with the white supremacy agenda. Real talk. I see a bunch of y'all jumping in the chat last minute. Got a whole lot of comments. I'm sorry. I am not going through all these comments. Real talk. That's not about to happen. But I really appreciate everybody coming in. Y'all like the video. Y'all share it. I had a good bill with Achoti Tamar and Kendrick Wilson. It was a good build. You know, and I got a good build for my sisters and brothers all over and the chats and whatnot. I love the fact y'all participated. It was very powerful. Y'all can do the feel. I can use a thumbs up right now. Share the video y'all want. You know what I'm saying? Trooper Troop said, hey, MajorTv. What's up, Trooper? What's happening? You know, so hey, y'all, I mean, it is what it is. I'm not going through all this chat. It's a 2 hour. It's been a 2 hour show. I'll be signing out now, but I want to say this. Thank you, Cody. I appreciate you again for your awesome commentary. I want to applaud you for the news report you be doing. MajorTv, Black News Talking Entertainment. I want to also thank you for this report you did in Tulsa for the Black Wallstreet Commemoration and run up on Roland Martin and get exclusive comment about what's going on with him not responding. I want to talk to King Kendrick Wilson. I want to thank you again for that. I want to thank you for always great commentary. And you know it is number love from Major TV.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, my brother. It was a pleasure being here and also being out in Tulsa once again to witness history, and you just made history with this interview with Kendrick because it's not many interviews with Kendrick that's out there. So we want to note that MajorTv, you doing your thing, and I want to say salute to you for staying honest to getting the word out to the community. One love to you, my brother, and one love to all the family out there that's listening. Excuse me, all the family out that's listening and want the truth and want to live by the truth in righteousness. I give all praises to the Most High for the opportunity, my brother. Shalom.
Real talk. Thank you so much again. Have a blessed one. Appreciate you. Much love, sister. Hey, y'all know what it is. And it's MajorTv. Thank you so much for love, support. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for everybody that participated and all the comments, the interaction. I seen y'all was going back and forth, doing a little fight, you know what I'm saying? But it was all love. Hey, look, love who you love. Be who you be, but be black first. Love your people. Understand racial law. Understand we are at war. I don't care about all the nonsense. Things won't be perfect, but we can always strive for perfection. And remember that. So look, y'all stay focused, stay on cool, and just be black. Peace.